Hi guys, it's Denise Cooper and I am going to try to make a very quick video because the video I just made was far too long. What I'm doing today, it is Sunday. It is easy breezy Sunday. I love Sundays. I love the weekends because I get to do whatever I want after having a long work week. And somebody's trying to call me, but I'm not going to pay attention to that because this is about me and you right about now. I'm going to do a wrap up of a few things. I'll talk about four things. The first thing is I'm painting today on my mural, and I'll get you guys caught up on Saturday, this next Saturday. Okay, today's Sunday, January the 4th. I'll do a wrap. What did I just call it? I'll show you and I'll do an update. That's what the word is. Update, Denise. Words update. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, I'll do an update of my mural next weekend. So some of my beautiful paint brushes that I'm going to be using today. I hope that I paint all into the night where I'm just so tired. I have no choice but to go rinse off my brushes and take a shower and crawl into my bed. That's how long I want to paint today. And I'm getting started late, and I notice I get started really late when I'm doing painting sometimes. Like I get a second wind in the middle of the night. Although it's right now currently 6:46. I told myself I was going to get up early this morning. It is 6:46 p.m. That is. Okay, so just some things I'm going to cover. Oh, gosh, all the texting every time I do this, the messages. Anyway, I've had a minute and 37 seconds telling you what I was going to do about the mural, and then I'll update you guys on Saturday. So hang in there. I'm getting there. I'm looking at it now. I can see it in my room, and it's just so much fun, you guys. Paint something. I'm telling you, like feel like a little kid inside, and the colors just give you energy and just so much. Okay, I'm stop moving around so much because I'm on my laptop, as you can see. My top 10 for last year, and unfortunately, it was very hard for me to come up with number one, number two, but I'll just read some of them. And the thing is, one of the things I wanted to talk about is the books that I have on my top 10 for last year. I don't own but 3 of them. So, and then one of them was given to me, or actually it was free because of my Words on the Wheels in my neighborhood, where we can just go and pick up a book and take it and then drop off other books. Well, I got one of the books from there free, and then also left it at a coffee shop down the street from me where people just read books and leave them and for someone else to read. So, and then all the other books were library checkouts. And that's why I'm dedicating this year, 2015, to just library checkouts, which remember I have 10 that I need to get through. And I did just purchase one of them because I'm going to have to take some of them back. And anyway, I read so many library books that I'm neglecting all the books on my shelf that I already own, that I book hauled and said I truly wanted. And all this, I just had to have this book. And then all of a sudden it just sits there and I'm dusting them. Yesterday I cleaned up my house and mopped and, floors and dusted. And I'm like dusting my books going, yeah, you're dusting them because you don't read them. You read all those library books. And sometimes I find myself with a beautiful book that I've purchased and I don't want to break the spine. And I'll go check it out at the library. Who does that? Am I alone? Am I just admiring my books that I have? And a lot of them, don't get me wrong, I have read a lot of my books that I own. But some of them are so beautiful that I don't want to break the spine. And I will pick it up from the library. I found myself even downloading a Kindle book that I have on my shelf because I didn't want to touch the book. Something's wrong with that. Anyway, top 10 from last year. Brown Girl Dreaming, Kindred, my 2 number ones. If I had to choose, Kindred, an amazing story. I've never read anything like that. Brown Girl Dreaming. And we all know, if you have not read that book, read it. It's just so beautiful and warm and cozy and informative too. It's a lot, and it's so beautifully written. She deserved that award. Okay, so those are my 2 favorites, and if I had to choose one again, it would be Kindred, and then Brown Girl Dreaming, and then Half of a Yellow Sun, God of Small Things, Americana, 40 Acres, Disgrace, Dry by Augustin Burroughs, Diary of a Bad Year, Icy Sparks, Suitor, Persepolis, Mary Jane Satrapi. So I don't have any of these books to show you. Actually, I do, but I'm too lazy. I was just going to read you the list. Brown Girl Dreaming, of course, is by Jacqueline Woodson. Kindred is by none other than Octavia Butler. Half of the Yellow Sun and Americana are by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. God of Small Things is Arundhati Roy. Don't know how to say her first name. I'll try to link them below if I don't get too lazy. I'm sorry. 40 Acres was by Dwayne Alexander Smith. Icy Sparks, totally forgot it. That little girl is not leaving my brain. That's why it was one of my top 10s. And that's the one that I got free. And then I gave it away free. How can you give something away free? You got it free. Anyway, I borrowed it and I'll let somebody else borrow it. Dry by Augustin Burroughs. I do have that one on my shelf and I've shown you guys before. Diary of a Bad Year. Got that on my shelf. It's actually right behind me. It's a Coetzee book. Disgrace behind me. I just did a review. We read it with Camille and also Kathleen. Hi Kathleen, and I loved your review. Suitor by Percival Everett, which I wanted to talk about today. He's one of my topics. So I just covered painting, my mural, and I'll be doing an update on Saturday. And I'm also just read you my top 10, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I am so long-winded all the time. So those of you who have subscribed, I really appreciate it. And those of you who like my videos, I always appreciate it. And I always love talking to you guys. So with that said, I'm going to move to the next topic. The other thing I wanted to cover is, remember I was doing the book a day, trying to get caught up with my book Goodreads challenge. I didn't make it. I know I read more than 50 books last year because remember I started the book reads challenge in the middle part of the year, very late. Now, if I can remember, and the thing is, it was on my brain yesterday and I just refused to bring up Goodreads and start the challenge early. But I'm trying to do that today. So that way I know that I can account for all the books I read. That's why I know when I put that big stack of books up that I can get through those books this year. Because I pretty much do that normally, 50 or more books a year. So when I was doing the book a day challenge, this was on my list. I read it. So I'll show you the ones that I read and actually made it. And someone wanted me to do a review on this, and so I'll be talking about this one very briefly. It's already at 7 minutes, but I'm not going to make it a whole bunch of different videos, so because I got some painting to do. Virginia Woolf, I got through it, made it. And that's, I'm sorry, it's called A Room of One's Own. Awesome. And then I just finished this one, The Daydreamer, Ian McEwan. Cute book. And he just goes into this little fantasy worlds all the time. And you're thinking, are we now reading a fantasy book? No, he's just daydreaming. It's just so cute. Anyway, got through that one. And as you know, I got through this one. I Shall Not Be Moved by the Divine Maya Angelou. All right, I love her, totally love her, and no, I don't do a good impression. Anyway, Jacqueline Woodson, Hush, awesome, beautiful book, and got through Locomotion also. So I got through 2 Jacqueline Woodsons, love her, I'm a fan, and I want my granddaughters to read these. Actually, I'm going to give those away to my granddaughters so they can read them. And I have to buy Brown Girl Dreaming because it was a library checkout. Okay, and then going on with the book a day, the ones that I didn't get through. Maya Angelou, All God's Children Need Traveling Shoes, and Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I'm sorry, I'm seeing so much stuff in my camera. And then Shrino's Choice by Diane Gonzalez Bertrand. And these are the 3 that I didn't get through on my book. And when I looked at Goodreads finally, and I'm telling you, that night that I was spinning and dancing, I was 2 books away from being done. On Goodreads, it'll probably be off like 3 books because I forgot to put, what book was it? I forgot to put down that I read, Ian McEwan. Broke my heart. So anyway, no, it didn't. I know, because like I said, I already know I read those books. But I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and didn't get through the 3rd one. Oh, no, 6. This is the one I have in my hand. So I got through 6 out of reading a book a day. And this one did carry on, and it was like 2 days because, I don't know, I'll talk about it in just a second. And then the other book that I was supposed to read in December, The Orinda, which I put down so I can read those small books. So getting through 6 while reading this, I think that was good. So I'm not going to be down on myself. But you guys, if you watch this channel, I don't get down on myself about a lot. I just love life, and mistakes are mistakes, and not meeting goals is a journey. And you go, what can I do different this year? That'll be fun, you know. Well, I know now if I want to get to my challenge, and complete it, I don't dance and spin and have such a great time right at the end of doing a challenge. I should dance and spin like now, but I'm not going to. Anyway, someone wanted me to review this book. Hi, sweetheart. I'm sorry. I need to know your first name because I'm always talking to you. Shiwi Moon. I'm sorry, but I love you. And you wanted me to talk about this book, Nappily Ever After. I'll read the back and then I'll just discuss it a little bit. I'll tell you what I rated it on Goodreads and why. I rated it a 3. This is chick lit, as they call it. I call them girlfriend books. Hey, girlfriend, read that book. It's cute. Nothing big, nothing light, whatever. But there is a big topic in here, okay? And so, anyway, it says Venus Johnston, she's the main character, has a great job, a beautiful home, and a loving live-in boyfriend named Clint, who happens to be a drop-dead gorgeous doctor. What they left out is he is chocolate as all get out. Okay, so anyway, that might have gotten the 3 stars. No. She also has a weekly beauty parlor date with Tina, who keeps her long, processed hair slick and straight. Ever since childhood, the tedious hours in the salon and harsh burning chemicals have grated on Venus. And increasingly, she dreams of cutting off her beautiful, good hair. Beautiful, good hair that she has to have processed. It was good before she got it processed. But, that's whatever. You know where I'm going with that. When her boyfriend keeps balking at commitment, and the thought of another hour at the salon is just too much. So, she's kind of pushing him in this book. I'm reading the synopsis and then just kind of wrapping up to give you, this is just the way that I'm going to do the review. Because I don't want to give away too much spoilers, but most reviews do give spoilers and we're going to read them anyway. And so there's nothing wrong with that. I don't ever have a problem with somebody giving a spoiler because your experience is going to be different. When you read it, you're going to see the characters different. And I just love spoilers and I love reviews. And so please keep them coming, you guys, because I love watching your reviews, spoilers or not. Venus is constantly talking about marriage to her boyfriend, Clint. They've been together 4 years and he hasn't popped the question. Now, he's an intern. He's going to be a doctor and he lives with her and she's a successful businesswoman. The one thing that I don't like about what the writer did with her being a successful businesswoman is when she's at work, she's either talking on the phone, making lunch dates and stuff. It's not really like well researched we get to know what she does, but I would like more of how she became so successful. Don't just paint this picture that, put her in this office and she has dreams of being in a bigger office and wanting to be more successful. I need to know the grit a little bit more about how she is successful. And that's one of the things that I think that separates chick lit from some, I don't know what they're called, very intellectual literary reads, maybe because of the, like the difference between, and me and my daughter Natasha was talking about Midnight and Sister Soldier. The second Midnight book, and even the first one, but the second Midnight book is so well researched that you feel like you're overseas in this country that she's talking about. I don't want to give any spoilers. Please refer to the video that me and my daughter did for that. And we didn't even get to cover all of that. But this book doesn't do a lot of research into what Miss Venus Johnston does. You just get to know that she's successful. She's in her office. She's very well dressed, and she's in marketing and so forth. And there's the good old boys, and I don't know, but let me know how hard you've been working. I mean, put it in there. Let me just really love this character and be like, man, she's been working her butt off and she needs this. You almost don't care. So anyway, with that said, Venus, and let me get back to this. She trades in the long hair for a dramatically short, natural cut and sends Clint packing. It's a bold declaration of independence and one that has effects she never could have imagined. With wit, resilience, and a lot of determination, Venus finally learns what true happiness is in her own terms, or on her own terms. It's a delicious story told with savvy and humor, a novel that marks the debut of a fresh, new voice in fiction. And so Nappily Ever After, she goes through the big chop is what it's called today, from getting rid of all the processed hair, and then she gets rid of the man that she's living with for 4 years, and he's beautiful, drop dead gorgeous, intern doctor, and he's working hard. Obviously, I mean, he doesn't have regular hours or whatever, and he really, truly loves this woman. Okay, and he's committed, but she wants him to, like, I guess, drop to a knee, but he wants to be a man and be able to get set as a doctor before he does any of that, and you can feel that in the story. And so the bone that I have to pick with this book, it kind of marks her as a little desperate. She's a little older than him. But the thing that I do like about the desperation is that's real. I mean, we get to a point in our lives and our ages, those of us who, married younger like I did, and then went through life with your mate, or those of us who did what she did, school, college, got a man, but wanting the marriage and the house and the kids and the dog and all that, so-called American dreamish type of way. And that's formulaic, lifestyle that I can't say we, because I'm not one of those people that has ever desired that. I think it's because I'm a creative, wildly just independent in my own right. And so when she gets this independent streak, she chops off of all her hair, and deals with all the things in her mind when she's walking down the street with this very close cropped, almost like a man when he cuts, a black man when he cuts his hair, that kind of, I call it a Caesar. And so she kind of has a really short cut like that. Doesn't say it's a Caesar in there, but that's what I imagine. How you see beautiful black women with all their hair chopped off. I've done it. Yes, I will say that I was beautiful when I did it. And I've done it so many times in my life and gotten rid of hair, because for some reason I just love short hair. And my hair is growing now, and I'm about to chop that sucker off. Or I was thinking about, getting the purple mohawk and shaving off my sides. And I love shaved hair. It's just me. And so who knows what I'm going to do with this stuff on my head. But whatever I do, I love doing it. I've had relaxers, I've had wigs and weaves, but when I was reading this book and thinking about this review, I've had more natural hair in my life than I've had relaxers. And I've swim. I love swimming. I will swim with a relaxer, with a weave, with my natural hair. Things that I have had conversations with women that it bothers. I'm not getting in the water. I'm not going to mess up my hair. I will jump in the water because I just don't care. And so that independence that she goes through, I never felt like independent every time I chopped off my hair. And I know the big chop is what everybody's calling it. And I love natural hair care channels here on YouTube. And oh man, those women have just beautiful ways to style your hair and do it. And I love watching them for that purpose. Not that I have to learn how to do my own hair, because I have done that. But it's for so many reasons. And that's what I love that she covered in this book. And I don't like the term natural hair care journey or natural journey, as if you're journeying to get long hair that you just chopped off. And so the thing is, do a big chop, get your natural hair, but oh my gosh, for whatever, grow it back as long as you possibly can so that you can blow it out and swing it all over again. If that's the journey, if that's the goal, is to have long, luxurious, long hair to swing around, then you're just journeying back into the trap of the idealistic style of beauty that someone else has tried to pin on you. I don't get that. But anyway, I get just being me. Okay. And I love nappy hair. I love coarse hair. I just love people in their own natural state. And I love that all the channels, and for the people that really truly need to feel like, okay, I need to do this big chop, and I love that you feel that way. I do. I'm not trying to down anybody on that at all, because I am so glad and happy to see all those channels of all those beautiful black women with natural hair and embracing who they are without all that creamy crack is what I call it in their hair, and the things that it could do to our bodies. And I've been there, done that, and I love my hair with all kind of styles, but my favorite is just Denise in her own original state. And that's the topic that this covers in the book. Not heavily though, because the relationship is more heavily covered than anything, and her wanting to marry Clint and him not being stepping up and asking her. And the book starts off with a wedding and it ends with a wedding, and I'm not going to tell you who he chose. Read it for yourself. Now, I gave it a 3, like I said. Would I recommend this book? Yeah, if you're into chick lit, read it. She has several books in the series, and I got this from the library, and I will just say I won't be checking out them anytime soon. I've got a huge list of books, and this is something I'm not trying to run to and continue on with the Venus Johnson story. I had enough in this book. It was cute for what it was, and that's that. So, I'm not done. I know I'm at 20 minutes, and that's really sad because this is the second time I did this video, and I was going to say I was going to wrap it up and do it short, but obviously I can't. But that was the review on Nappily Ever After, and I'm trying to get in several things in this video because I'm not going to make another video probably until next Saturday when I do a wrap-up and update, rather, of my mural. This is an author that I wanted to talk about because I went online and got my books in my cart because I'm doing Coatsy month in April, and when I was doing the 52 books, and you've seen all the from what I'm going to read this year in that video, I forgot to pull down my Percival Everett. He is an author that I'm totally in love with, and he's a genius, and I'm going to read him this year. Read this one, totally loved it, and The Water Cure, and I got to finish that one. So, Percival Everett, totally genius. I'm just going to read on the back of Glymph what this one is about. And one of the reviews is from Terry McMillan. Terry McMillan says, I think Percival Everett is a genius. I've been a fan since his first novel. He continues to amaze me with each novel as if he likes making 90-degree turns to see what's around the corner and then over the edge. I think he has a following, but not large enough. He's a brilliant writer and so damn smart, I envy him. And then the other, Carol Musk Dukes, sorry if I messed up her name, Glymph, this book here, is an answer and an antidote to not only what ails the academy, but what ails a society without the self-knowledge to satirize itself. Percival Everett's infant genius protagonist vaults out of the playpen like Voltaire in flaming diapers to dispatch theories, charlatans, kidnappers, and con men in this brilliantly, widely parodic romp. Deconstruct this. Percival Everett, to me, is a genius writer. He's different. He is not for everybody. He wrote the book Erasure. That was the first one that I read by him. And then Suitor, which was on my top 10 list, as you guys just, as I went over at the beginning of this long, ridiculous video. But I'm going to stop talking. But Percival Everett is going to be on my list for an author of the month this coming summer. Bye, you guys. I really appreciate those of you who hang in there and watch all my videos. Sorry about the long, drawn out, you know what else. I'm not dancing, I'm not spinning. And there's the art of the week. That was inspired by Picasso when I was in class. And I just came home and I kept doing these really quick paintings. And so that's my lady in a chair, inspired by Picasso. Thank you, guys. Thanks to all the new subscribers and the likes and the comments. I really enjoy talking to you. And I'm really going to say bye and turn off the camera because I got to paint. Bye, Sasha.